What's going on, everyone? D. Anthony here with Evolution Traders, and you know what time it is. It's time to backtest our strategies. It's time to make some notes for tomorrow, and it's time to see if we could have done anything better. So what we're looking at, NASDAQ futures, 5-minute time frame. What I have on the screen, same thing as always. I've got the 20 SMA, which is what we're going to be using to take these scalp positions. I've also got that 200 SMA to kind of act as added support and added resistance and kind of give us confluence in conjunction with that 20 SMA. I've also got a 5 SMA on my screen. Now, the reason why I'm going to use the 5 SMA is, let's say, for example, I take a trade and let's say there's 1 candle, 2 candles, 3 candles pushing higher or lower off my entry. I'm using the 5 SMA as a trailing stop in a power trend on an intraday 5-minute chart. Makes sense? With that, also, we have 2 dotted lines on our screen. This is our opening range on the 1-hour time frame. Okay, so market's going to open at 6:30 here in California, 9:30 New York. I like to look at see what's going on between 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. That's my opening range. I want to include a little bit of that pre-market data, and I want to include that first 30 minutes after the market to kind of let the dust settle, is what I like to say. So typically speaking, I'm always looking for, what did we kind of do in the pre-market? Well, we had some numbers that came out today. We had a big drop followed by a recovery and actually a push higher. So with that being said, that first initial move in the pre-market was down. If the market was going to make a low today, something that we could have significance shorting, we would have need to have seen first hour lows get taken out and the news from PPI get taken out as well. Okay, so with that being said, with that being said, since off the open we didn't take out those pre-market lows, we are looking for reversals. Okay, we're looking for the bounce, because why would we want to be short if we haven't taken out the pre-market lows? Doesn't really make too much sense. I'm sure we could scalp a little bit of a move, but if we're trying to identify trends and we want to stay on the right side of the trend, we're not trying to go counter trend. So until we lose that low, we need to be looking for the upside position. Same thing vice versa if it was the other way around. We get our first setup here at 6:10 in the morning. Market's not open, doesn't confirm. We do get a little bit of a setup here going into the open, very small candle. That does confirm. This was 5 minutes before the market opens, but I want to make a point. Yet again, have we taken out pre-market lows? No. So do we want to try to go short leading into the market open if we're, a long ways away from taking out those lows? Right? So you kind of have to use what's in between your ears, and if you're like most of us, maybe there's little to nothing in between your ears. I know for me, sometimes I feel, there's nothing going on inside the head. I'm just kind of operating on autopilot. Again, we're human beings. We're not the smartest, things to ever exist and walk this planet. Right? So again, with that being said, we're looking for that uptrend. We're looking for the reversal. In fact, we get a 20 SMA plate on the first 5-minute candle off the open. Okay, so at 6:30 we get a 28-point range candle. You guys already know the deal. We're going to put a stop loss below that reason why candle. We're looking for an entry on a following candle, typically the next candle, to confirm the high, either the wick or the body, whichever one's greater. Sometimes there's no wick, it's just all body. Sometimes there's a longer wick. We got to use the wick, right? Always use wicks if there's wicks attached to that candle. Our entry should have been at 6:35 in the morning. Now, again, where's our take profit? We've got a few ways to take profit. We already know that we're going to give up 28 points on this potential trade. So you need to correlate that with the number of contracts that you're looking to trade to make sure that you can handle that risk if you do go into drawdown and or have to take the loss. We're looking for something close to 28 points to take profits on the 1-to-1, or we're going to cut that range in half and we're going to take half the range. So in this particular case, we're maybe looking for 12 to 14 points on a scalp. Within 5 to 10 minutes, we go to a high price of 18,318 coming from a price of 18,293. So in fact, you would have got that half range here. You can also use the 5-minute ATR to kind of take profits. That ATR was sitting at around 17 points. So you would be looking for profits into around 17 points. You would have taken it in 5, 10, 15 minutes. That's would have been the whole time on that particular trade. Now we pull back to the 20 and the 200. Notice how we're putting in a higher low, okay? We're not taking out the previous swing low. We're not taking out pre-market lows. So let's stick with the trend. What would be that next area to go long? Well, if we're looking at that 1 hour time frame, we're looking at that 1 hour range, we want to see that 1 hour range get broken, and we want to see some confirmation follow through, right? So as soon as this breaks, there's one of two ways to take this trade. You can take it on the first move. But again, if you take the first break through the 1 hour highs, treat it as a scalp. You're getting in, you're getting a few points, you're just getting the heck out. Why I say that is because typically you put in a move and you pull all the way back, okay? The next thing that you could have done is wait for the candle to close, take the confirmation. But again, it's the first move. It hasn't back tested the 20 or the 200 or the original breakout. So until it back test holds and goes, you need to think scalp, okay? So once we break the first hour highs at around 18,326, we shoot all the way up to a price of 18,370. So we're talking about almost, 40 points here, right? Give or take, right? From 18,326 to 18,370. You're talking about almost 50 points here on this move. Now, the range of this candle was 56 points. I don't think that you would have got the full 56 points. Again, I'd have to do the math, and I don't feel like pulling out the calculator and doing all that. But anytime you get a range where you're looking at 40, 50, 60 point range on a candle, the odds of you getting that go down, okay? I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, because it definitely does. For example, you could have used your original reason why. You could have been in this trade, held, and actually taken a lot more on the day. You could have essentially taken the first opening range candle. We never took out the lows, and we just proceeded to grind higher all day. So you could have essentially got in at a price of around 18,293 and looked to have traded this all the way into 18,433. So, 100 plus points. Now, again, what are the odds that someone's going to hold through all this volatility and all this consolidation? Probably slim to none, right? But I'm just giving you an example. If you were just to truly trust the charts and just have one setup, again, so if we're talking about the first hour highs, we want to treat it as a scalp. We want to take, normally this is what I do, guys. And in this, I'm only speaking for myself here. Okay. I'm only going to speak for myself. If I'm not putting on big position size where I'm trading, multiple mini contracts, and I'm trading on the micro side, just looking for quick scalps, I'm not going to, sit and hold for 40, 50 points. If the range of the candle's over 40, 50 points, I'm going to cut it in half. I'm going to look to take 20. I'm going to look to take 25. So in this particular situation, if you were to cut 55 points in half, you're looking at around maybe 27 points. Okay. So do you get 27 points on the move? And if you do, well, then you would be pretty close to that, right? But the way I've been trading lately, and I like to just be full, transparent, I've been trading around 2 or 3 mini contracts. Again, this is on prop firms, and I have multiple accounts. I'm running some evals. I've also got some funded accounts. I trade them all a little bit differently depending on the P&L balance. But how I'm trading some of these accounts is going in 2 or 3 mini contracts on legitimate setups, meaning a 20 SMA play or a first hour high break. And I'm looking to take 3 or 4 points. I'm setting a hard limit order at 3 points or 4 points. Now just do the math. If you get $20 a point on a mini contract, well, if you take 3 points, you're going to take $60, correct? So if I'm playing 2 contracts, I'm going to make around $120. If I'm playing 3 contracts, I'm going to make around $180, almost $200. So on this particular play, I would have made a very, very quick $100 to $150. On this play, $100 to $150. And that's exactly what I did. I locked it in, ended up finishing the day with about $372 on that prop firm account. And that's it, right? Like, I didn't really trade after lunch. I didn't catch the move at the end of the day. I would love to say that I did, but I didn't, right? Because for me, if I can make over $200 or $300 relatively early in the morning, I'm more than likely going to hang it up. And when I say more than likely, 10 out of 10 times, I'm going to hang it up. And I'm not really looking for the big $1,000 days, or I'm not really looking for the big $2,000, $5,000 days. What I'm looking to do is try to get consistent and remain consistent. Okay, I've been trading options full time for around 8.5 years, and I've been trading for 10 years. What I've learned in this past 10 years is that the greedier you get and the harder you try to do something, the farther that flag stick gets moved. Okay, so take that for what it is. We don't need to make $10,000 a day. You know, making $200 a day, making $300 a day, hell, making $100 a day is great money. It'll add up, it'll compound. You can always add more money to your account. You can always add more funded accounts. So it is what it is. The way I look at it is, you know, if I start getting over $200, $300, $400, I'm gonna hang it up, because, you know, if I can make $2,000, right, $2,000 per funded account, I've got a handful of these things. I can rotate them in and out. I can manage my risk right. You know, you make you make $1,000 on one account, you make a couple $1,000 on another account, you make $500 on another account. You let those all add up. 2 or 3 months later, you're taking a $5,000 payout. 2 or 3 months later, you're taking a $7,000 payout. 2 or 3 months later, you're taking a $6,000 payout, right? So let them add up, right? It's supplemental income for me trading these futures prop firm accounts, because the majority of my money is made on the option side of things. But again, I'm not opposed to working another job, aka futures prop trading, right? And also, right now, speaking of prop trading, Apex is running an insane deal. I think they hit another milestone in payouts. They're offering 250K accounts for $16. Guys, that link's down in the description box below. And they're also offering 90% off all evaluations. Link for Apex down in the description box below. Code SAVE90, right? Go pick up some accounts. But the point that I'm trying to make is that if you average, you know, $200 a day when you do win and $300 a day when you do win, you're looking at around $1,000 a week, guys. That's an extra $4,000 a month to your bottom line. How much would, you know, taking out $2,000 to $4,000 a month out of the market, how much would that change your life? I'm not saying you're going to be able to retire, buy a yacht, buy a mansion, but it's definitely going to be able to cover some bills. It's definitely going to be able to be put towards college tuition for somebody. It's definitely going to be able to help with an earlier retirement. It's definitely going to be able to help with healthcare. It's definitely going to be able to help pay the cell phone bill, take an extra vacation, take an extra nice meal, go get a steak, right? Go do something with your wife, with your kids, with your family, with your friends. Go play an extra round of golf this week. Guys, adding an extra $2,000 to $3,000 a month is easy to do if you have the right mindset. And when you want to make more money, it's also easy to do, because all you have to do is keep everything the same, keep your expectations and reality the same, and just scale up more accounts. And or if you're trading a personal account, let it compound and start taking bigger size. Once you're comfortable and your account starts to grow, that allows you to permit trading bigger size. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want to trade with me each and every single day, that link's down in the description box below. To all of you guys who are in Evolution Traders, I'll see you guys all in the morning. To everyone else on YouTube, I will catch you guys on the next YouTube video.